So I just want to be in the news for at least 6 months. But I don't want to be it for sad reasons like she went too soon, because that's done. That will be done in a month or two. You know, when you're dating for the first time, you need to be everything for your boyfriend, and then the second time you're like, ho gaya mera. Tujhko pasand hai to pasand nahi to nikal dost. So I have become very that with my stand-up, which has really helped. I'm going to focus on making people laugh and cry. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I'm a good actor. I can make people cry. Yuck, who speaks like that?
Hello and welcome to the DeadAnt ChatRoom. I'm your host Bhanuj Kapil, and joining me today is Sumukhi Suresh. Welcome to the show, Sumukhi.
Thank you. Finally, we're doing this after lots of, does this date work? No, it doesn't work for me. Does it work? Then I'm like, no, it doesn't work for me. And then 30 years later, we're on DeadAnt Room.
Well, who would have thought when HT called you India's Tina Fey in 2016? Take it so seriously.
Man, I still cringe when they say, I'm like, oh no, Tina's dying somewhere.
Yeah, but you're trying as much as you can to live up to it, right?
I think
so many things.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm India's Tina Fey or my own mother. I don't know which one is. I don't know which one it is.
Well, you had a good start to the year. You just got on the BAFTA Breakthrough India list.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
This happened sometime last year. I think I was applying for it. It was just a one-off. They were like, oh, why don't you apply for it? And I'm like, okay, but why? And then they said, and there was a lot of back and forth about, oh, should I apply as a writer or should I apply as? So I said, you know what, we should apply as something that I'm very sure I won't get, which is performer, Pushpavali. I don't know why I also have these hang-ups. And it worked out. When it came, I'm like, are they sure? And I asked them 2-3 times. And then first I thought, you know how you think it's a spam mail? Because it's not unusual to get spam mails. So then when they said, no, it's not spam, such mein BAFTA breakthrough. So I was like, okay, cool, now. Then I have to now go look at BAFTA. Because the only thing I know about BAFTA is Rebel Wilson's great speech there, which was too funny last year. So thank God I know something about BAFTA.
Yeah, and what does this mean going forward?
So going forward, in a practical sense, it helps people like creators and actors to tap into their network of technicians, crew members, and of directors and actors who they work with and who are in their network. So we have access to that. We're members of the BAFTA for a year for sure. We have voting rights. For me, if I'm creating a show, I could reach out to them saying that, hey, listen, so can I get an interesting crew member for this, a DOP or whatever? Hopefully that's what we get out of it. But I think since I'm a performer, one of the main things they look at is that what's the plan acting wise, and do you want to audition? And that's something I'm not prepared for. I was like, yeah, sure. I said yes. And I'm like, oh, no, I have to. They're like, are you working on your craft? I'm like, yes, I am. I lie every day about things. So I am acting. So yeah, that's my plan.
But that's good, no? Because you haven't, apart from your own work, you haven't really been getting, despite the higher profile, have you been getting the sort of acting roles here that you kind of want to do?
Yeah, man. Now they don't give me best friend role also. At least I could complain about it before. See, I'm getting best friend role now. I'm like, shit, वो भी नहीं मिल रहा अब तो. अब तो मैंने सच में पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मार दी थी. Like, no, one day when role comes about, where you're the lead, we'll call. I'm like, yeah, but then what if I die? Because I'm dying at 65. Before that, if it doesn't come, it's really of no use. Okay. So yeah, audition-wise though it's become, but I've also been told that I have to put out in the universe that I have to start faking it, saying that of course I'm getting a lot of roles, but I'm saying no. That I'm like, yuck, who speaks like that? So what is that? Imagine, Manoj, I'm telling you, I have roles coming in and I'm saying, but I'm not taking them. You'll also be like, don't lie. What's the real reason?
So 65, dying at 65, is that like, is that something that you've decided since you were a kid, or do you keep like pushing it back every 5-10 years? Oh, I'm 30 now, maybe 65 then.
Bhanuj is trying to be as natural about this question. Like, ये आपका बचपन का सपना था या अब पागल हुई है थोड़ी सी?
नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, मैं तो निर्वाणा Kurt Cobain fan था.
I've always thought it's 65 only. Although I've put a number to it very recently, is because I think it's the right age to die. Like, you're a good gossip. because everyone will be like, oh no, man, did she die too early? And then some people are like, no, I think she really lived to her full potential. And I say, how can you say that? So I just want to be in the news for at least 6 months. But I don't want to be it for sad reasons, like she went too soon, because that's done. That will be done in a month or two.
Also,
And
someone might start an SSR like conspiracy around you.
no. I don't think. I think he went through Papa too much. So mine's going to be like, I'm going to go to sleep and then die. It's going to be the least conflicting and the least interesting way to die. So his was a...
And 65 is a good age because that's around the time you start to come to grips with the fact that you'll never be able to retire.
Yes, and you know me, I'm a workaholic. I will hold on to every strand and I will make sure Motormouth goes down with me. So before that happens, and I'd like it to be a legacy. So I'll just, before that only, I'm like, Marja, khatam kar de. It's okay.
And so coming to Motormouth, obviously, that's another big thing that's happened. You've launched your own company, Writers Collective. Tell us a little more about the vision that you have for this.
For now, it's very simple that we're just going to write shows and movies. I think the bigger aim with Motormouth is that eventually, I want to be a production agency. Like, the dream is to be a Shondaland. The dream is to be a Hello Sunshine from By Reese with a Spoon. But I think they also came on their own much later when they were smarter women who knew how life works. I think I'm hoping I've started a little early on that. So for now, I know that my skills that I know I do very well are writing or running writer's room, and performance. So I'm just going to put that skill, and for the next 1 or 2 years, we're going to focus on of course, writing things for people where we are not involved and we're not acting. It's just purely writers. And the second is creating my own IPs. But eventually, Banuj, I know it's going to be that I will be creating my own IPs and I'll be selling them. Because what happens is that everyone's like, oh, then they approach for a particular movie or a show. They're like, oh, why don't you write it? And then I say that, oh no, I'm stuck in 3 projects, but can you take one of my writers? I think they're good. They'll be like, no, we want you only. And then somehow people just assume that it's like, I feel bad saying that, sorry, I can't do, because I don't have the habit of saying no. And then person in front understands that weakness of mine, saying that, oh, you won't do, huh? You were saying no to work. You know what that leads to. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. You're just really punching my buttons now. So I know eventually it's going to be just us creating and us pitching and hopefully us doing a bunch of things on our own. But inquiries from other people really helps, because, you get stuck in your own little bubble where you think you're the best, and then you work for someone else and you're like, oh, you little bit suck, or the world is running in a different direction. So you teach yourself those skills. So that's current aim is just create shows, write movies, and put the name out there. And maybe in 5 to 6 years, it will be a Motormouth Presents a show fully, hopefully. Or less than that, I don't know.
You seem less excited about the sort of production aspect of it than the writing aspect of it.
Actually, I don't know, more than less excited. I think my eyes are very used to it. I think Pushpavali, since it was a smaller production, a smaller budget show, and since I was also the lead, I was part of everything. So like first season, I wasn't sure what a showrunner is. By second season, I realized, okay, this is what it is. This is what a lead writer is supposed to be. This is what a showrunner is supposed to be. And since that's the part I actually enjoyed a lot. I'm like, oh, this is fun, like working with the crew. So I'm not worried about that. I think I'm more worried about the number of ideas we come up with, the variation in those ideas. Like, I don't want us to be only comedy dramas. Like, what if we make a horror show? What if we make a fantasy show? Or a horror movie, fantasy? Like, these are things that are not my strength. So that's what it's making me more nervous and less excited. The production and creation part is more fun. So I'm actually looking forward to that part a little more. That's why my eyes are very like, fun.
And apart from sort of the formats of the shows or films or whatever you're looking at, you also like, the idea is to have stories that are centered on women, right?
Yes. I don't even think it was a no-brainer. In fact, the first time when I was asking why are you creating Motormouth, I said I just want to write stories centering women. And I think one of the initial conversations was that, is this unique enough? I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. I just want to do this. And eventually when the word went out, I was like, this is so unique. I'm like, really? Why is this unique? Isn't that already a problem that this is unique? Please. And I know, honestly, it's not. There are so many people who are doing this already, who are doing it better. And it's not a new concept which has started. Like, you have creators who've done that in the past. It's just, I think I'm trying to be part of that, saying that, no, I'd also like to do it. And I'd also like to put my 2 cents to it. And also, I think recently this Janice show which when we were doing, and this I think Arjun Kapoor mentioned saying there is no person who's doing the there are no Judd of here where it's just pure comedy fun show or a pure comedy fun movie. It's just my only logic to it is I just want it to be female because I just want everything for us. That's all. It's very simple.
I mean, I would argue our Judd Apatow is David Dhawan, but
Is he though? Yeah. No, I mean, to be fair, David Dhawan, I mean, it's between you and me. I'm a big fan of David Dhawan because, hey, I'm
between
Bollywood girl.
you, me, and all the 200
all
people
the
watching this.
fancy people who watch Christopher Nolan and his extravaganza. Like, I don't think I have the brains for Christopher Nolan. That gentleman is genius, and I think the boys should really go through that. And
Chris Nolan's movies are the I am very smart meme.
Yeah,
they're more invested in telling you they're smart than being smart.
See, that's the thing, no, Bhanuj, like at least there is a David Dhawan where I'm like, I'm very smart. I feel it.
Yeah.
And David makes me feel that. I'm like, thank you, David Dhawan. But like at least till Kader Khan was writing for them, that it was whatever. At that time, it was highly problematic, I'm sure. I don't even have to think and I know it already. But it at least they tried to do new jokes once in a while. They were not only like meri biwi moti hai or like meri biwi mujhe bahut tang karti hai. Once in a while they moved it around a little bit for themselves.
Who else are you looking to bring in? Because I know you and Sumaira have a long creative partnership. Or who else are you looking at bringing in as writers, as people in the writer's room?
But Sumaira, of course, now it's time. She's, of course, co-creating a show with me, yes. But apart from this, I would also like her to be a head writer to a room, which she is now. She's leading a room now. And I'm really excited about that show that we're developing. It's going to take some time, but I think it's going to be hilarious. Apart from this, I have my long-standing association with like writers like Aisha Nair, who eventually I would like her to be one of the showrunners from Motormouth. If I'm not show running, then she could show run something because I think if that opportunity comes to me, I'd love for her to be part of that. I am looking at a lot of comics, of course, because they are my go-to people. Like Supriya is now, I think, joining something interesting for us. There are 2-3 writers who are not from the comedy world who have reached out saying that, hey, listen, we'd like to. So thankfully, also a good number of girls reached out. But not to be fair, boys are also equally like, come on, give us also. Like the boys are applying saying that, no, we're very good with writer's room, there are girls. I'm like, that's not the requirement, but it's cool. No problem. So I know that 3-4 writers already are, like Aisha has always been a head writer. So hopefully for her, it's a showrunner. And for Sumaira, it's a head writer. For Supriya, she starts writing fiction because I think she's a very good mind. There are a few other writers that I work with, Palak, Preksha, Mohak, and these are the people who we're reaching out to now. So like, interesting bunch of comics and writers. The other thing I'm really looking to do is there are fresh new writers who have written into Motormouth. So we're going through the process of reading those and seeing that, if someone has an interesting voice and honest voice, then they can come in as a junior writer and then pick it up from there. Basically have like a host of showrunners so that we can, the tone and fun is the same.
Yeah. And is that also something you're looking at doing through Motormouth, helping develop other women writers as well? Because, I mean, I remember when AIB did that writers...
First draft.
First draft, which, ended as it ended. But there was a lack of sort of infrastructure generally for people looking to get into this sort of writing. And with women, there's obviously additional barriers. So is that something that you're explicitly sort of thinking of or looking at?
I'm not sure if I want to do it as a schooling of sorts. Like AIB First Draft is a very... the people who joined it benefited it as well. I'm not sure if I have a Sati with me. Like I know First Draft has a Satyanshu, which really helps the process. I think the only thing that I can give as a writer and the organization can give is that you're part of a room and you will learn the skill. It's actually the same way I learned the skill. I don't have any formal training, and maybe eventually I will, and that'll bring in those folks. But right now, how I learned about writing was mainly because of I was in a room. There was a Naveen Richard who taught me what a screenplay is. There is my own gut, which is very particular about about characters and about the jokes that are given. So
I'm thinking more in terms of mentorship than like that sort of. I was just giving that as an example of like why they had to felt it.
Mentorship wise, yes, but I can tell you, I also think I benefit from a lot of senior writers, like the kind of discipline and Aisha has. No, I think in terms of just, since they are all writers who had to go from A to B, because stand-up comedians also have the advantage of being comedians, having a name out there, therefore people trusting you with money a little easier. So the kind of discipline that comes with being only a full-fledged writer and going up the spokes is very different. And that teaches you another lesson altogether. And also the sub part of that is, in fact, a lot of writing is not about the writing itself, but it's about the work ethic and just the understanding of discipline. Because most writers are just indisciplined. Like, they don't turn up, or they... That is my bigger pet peeve than the writing. People are extraordinary writers, man. This city especially has some very good writers who've done this before. It's just, the only thing that really gets to me is like, आज हमारा mood नहीं, I'm like, mood नहीं है. हाँ, ये writer's block के पैसे किसके पास है writer's block के लिए? So I'm also really learning this discipline a lot from writers within. So I hope it's more of a two-way street than just a one-way street. Does that make sense? At least right now, it's in that happy bubble. Hope as we get more junior writers and people who haven't written at all, maybe it'll become more mentoring than, collaboration and fun. And
That also brings me, like, you've also spoken about, like, then in a few years, maybe expanding beyond, expanding to other gender identities that maybe don't really have that much of a voice. So is that you're waiting to build a team for that? The right sort of people, expertise?
Waiting to build the team, yes. Also, my own understanding of it, I think my own upbringing and my own understanding of the world is limited. And I'd like to, because, it's very easy to project that thought and then put a team together, and then you have no clue what you're doing. You have no clue what you want to do with it. You have no motivation. Like, I am centering female characters because that's something I feel. I cannot pretend to feel for something for other genders. So hopefully I do my education myself. It need not be something in a hurry, but doesn't mean everyone has to wait until I realize what it is. So hopefully hand in hand it goes. And not make other gender content, which is very, watch, this is other gender content. Like, hopefully content that is fluid for them, that is correct for them, that seems absolutely relatable. Hopefully that's the place I'm going to. I don't know how to get there yet, is the reason I have not declared that I will. I was like, yes, the team is the first thing. Second is educate yourself. Third, what else can you do to build a nice story? Which is, recently I saw some FX, some show, I think an Australian show or something. So I watched it, so nicely written, so breezy, so good. I'm like, man, these skills you have to know for you to understand what the universe is all about. And right now, most of us don't know, except for like maybe a Ghazal Daliwal, who's a good writer, who understands where that space is. So maybe more of that. So in some time for sure.
And so you mentioned a couple of these, but what are sort of like, can you tell us about some of the projects in the works? I know there's a couple of feature films.
Yeah, I'm writing 2 feature films. One is for Tushar Hiranandani, who's the gentleman who made Sand Ki Aankh. That's him. And we're writing I can call it an inspirational comedy.
That's what your press release said, yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's one. Second is I'm doing a movie with Riya Kapoor, and I cannot say anything, otherwise she will really beat me, and she should, and rightfully so. Sumaira and I co-created a show. It's a college show set in Mumbai. It's been already commissioned for development, so we're in the process of finishing the scripts now, and hopefully we go on floor very soon. Apart from these 3, which is commissioned work, I also have 3 shows that we're 2 shows in a movie that we're developing. Just as a library, we start picking up and making it. Now, this is where I'm investing my money to sort of build that library to keep it. As concepts, it can't be full-fledged because concepts age, but you know how, like, after that, things don't age well. So at least that's the idea. This is in terms of fiction. Then I have to tour with my special also now, so that's also happening. Yeah.
Special. Oh, yeah. Nice review. But we'll get to the special. But there is one show that I'm excited about, which is the Vasu PG spin-off.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going very well. It's going very well, and I honestly, it's not been pitched to anybody, but I know that I eventually will. But just the writing of it and just the thought of it is so exciting because. Oh man, I think from the moment she was the Vasu walked in to set or I think was in Pushpali, we were like, this is such a good spin-off. This has to be a spin-off. And anyway, Pushpali 3 is not happening. I'm like, so then might as well create Vasu PG, which is going to be great. And it's a PG show. It'll be funny. This everything. I know there are multiple college shows and hostel shows and everything, but Vasu PG is a tone of its own. So I'm setting up the writers' room now. I'm looking to see how I can get someone from Bangalore. It'll be nice to have a Bangalore-based writer as well. So that's where we're aiming at now, since I can't be in that room. But yeah, it's going to be full-fledged funny. No drama, only funny.
Only funny. Okay. And so there was also talk, you have international representation now, you and Debbie.
Yeah.
And there was also talk of an international project. Is that one of the ones you discussed, or is that separate?
I am still in development, but that takes so long. Oh my God. I thought Indians are not slow. Next time someone says India is slow, no. Foreigners are super slow. Oh, I'm going on and on with this. I'm like, Arey Baba, the character's only grown old now. It's looking nice, honestly. Unfortunately, fortunately, the pandemic didn't help us in that sense. I think a pandemic really helped me in terms of writing and in terms of taking a step back and for Motormouth. But I think that really took the hit in terms of its speed. So we're sort of revisiting the plot. It is still in the pipeline. I feel it'll happen because I think it's a very good concept. Apart from this, I think there are also conversations of, do I want to act in projects abroad? But there also I have the same drama where I'm like, can I not get the Indian best friend? How am I going there also doing the same thing? So, which is why I was really pitching my own show. So yes, the conversations are on, but man, pandemic really hurt me that way. That's the only place where I was like, why you did that? I could have been international woman.
Bad COVID. So, okay, now to the stand-up front. What's going on over there?
This is the first time I think from the time I've done stand-up, I'm A, so excited about it, B, not nervous about it. C, I know exactly how it's going to go. Like, there is a certain sense of confidence, which is what I keep saying to most girls who talk to me, who of course won't listen to me, because they will listen to boys only, because that's what they have to go through in life. So go through. But I'm like, just finish your special. It is not going to be a masterpiece. None of us have the skill. Everyone wants to be Bill Burr. Everyone wants to be Dave Chappelle. 20 saal se kar rahe hain wo log. They are killing it. They are working on their skill for so long. I'm not saying that you do it in the first 2-3 months, but at least put an hour together. The concept of putting an hour itself is so massive. And so, not only in terms of content, but can you last on stage for an hour? Does the audience want to listen to you for an hour? There's so many questions that get answered. And I think Don't Tell Amma was that not the best special. I'm not even worried about that. But it was so much fun that I lasted for an hour. I banked on my performance. That now my second special seems, I think, a little clearer, where I'm like, oh, what do I want to say? What is the conversation I want to have? What do I want to talk about? What are the jokes I want to do? Like right now, I'm touring with 2 hours. And so hopefully I want to slash it. Hopefully I have to slash it down to an hour. And it's almost like it's an escape now. Like stand-up is what I'm looking forward to. I'm like, oh, there's evenings and 1 hour I can go. I can have fun with it. So that I'm prepping for the special. I need to shoot it this year, end of this year, which is fine. I also want to push myself and tour with bigger rooms, because I end up being like, I can't sell more than 200. I'm like, just post, no, a 500-seater. What will happen? You won't sell out anyway. Everyone knows that we don't sell. So at least I'm going to try it and do bigger rooms and record in bigger rooms, maybe do an international tour as well with it. Why not? So I think with this special, there's a sense of, karte na, yahan bhi jate hain, wahan bhi jate hain, wahan bhi karte hain. So, which is very nice, because when I was touring with my first special, I was very like, oh my God, it needs to be like this. It needs to be well written. It needs to be well performed. It needs to be this. It needs to be that. I need to be this. I need to be that. I'm like, oh my God, it's like, when you're dating for the first time, you need to be everything for your boyfriend. And then the second time you're like, ho gaya mera. Tujhko pasand hai to pasand, nahi to nikal dost. So I have become very that with my stand-up, which has really helped me. And I think, which also pushes me to write. I usually improvise and then I come and write. But now there are times where you just find me in the corner writing stand-up also, which is very irritating for Somera, but it's fun.
So what's like, in terms of subject matter or content, what's up with this special now? It's been a while since Don't Look Up.
Oh man, I want to tell you, but I don't want to tell you as well. You should come watch. I really do want to give spoilers. Please come for an hour. And like, it's happening on 18th, 19th anyway. Because I
Okay.
don't think I'll do a good explanation of it. I think watching it would give you be like, oh my God, what is happening with her? Because it's very unlike it's of course like my personality and like some of the things I speak. But I think there is a certain sense of I've let go a little. So I just say whatever I want now. Anyway, now I'm definitely saying whatever I want. And I think my last half an hour, like the second half of the show, I'm very excited about. So I'm really focusing on like making the first half an hour logical to this. Like it's almost like in a movie, I figured out the second half. And now the first half seems very like shallow. Like second half, everyone's like, what's happening? Shit, tears and all are coming. And then first half, everyone's just, I'm like, what am I talking about? Why am I talking about tummy tuckers? I don't understand. So please, I think you should come. I don't think I'll do justice to it.
I mean, great, yes. That's
Yeah,
the same.
I don't know if it's a great special, but man, I'm gonna have too much fun with it. I'm gonna focus on making people laugh and cry. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I'm a good actor. I can make people cry, and I love making people cry. I don't know why I didn't do this before. So like that's the aim.
And how are you juggling all this? Are you sure you last till 65?
Oh no, yeah, no, that's true. How am I juggling all of this? I am very terrible at time management. So right now I am doing a terrible job at it. I think the unofficial answer to it is I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm gonna collapse any minute. The official answer is honestly the taking up the space for Motormouth really helped because there's no bakchodi now. Like you gotta come, you gotta sit in one room, you gotta sit in the second room, you gotta do for stand-up. Like it's a cut. It's a sort of a system in place where now I'm no longer working from home, where I'm also like, okay, you guys, anybody wants to eat something, let's have some coffee. None of this nonsense. Everyone just comes, works, and leaves, which really has put a system together. But I'm still not doing a good job at it. So my time management sucks. So the answer to this is I don't know.
Okay, so final question. What are your, this is a heavy question given that there's a war in Europe going on right now. What are your hopes for comedy, Indian comedy in 2022?
I know that Prashasti is doing a special. I know that I'm doing a special. And I really hope at least 3 more. Uruj is also announced, which is Ono. I know Sumera just finished her special. So at least there's Jia. Like we do 10 girls who come up with their vanas. Right now it's Prashasti, Jia, Uruj. Sumera's is done, so she has to come up with a new. I really hope at least 10 girls do their vanas this year. That will be nice. That's my hope for 2022. I really hope my special does well. I really hope the show that we are creating, that also goes on floor. And the fourth thing, honestly, I'm seeing if we can do more. Since digital, I think sort of opened up open mics and people joining in from everywhere, that really helped out girls a lot. So I hope that, I don't know, maybe tier 2 cities also we focus on doing open mics there, getting more girls, because right now it's all the metro gals with their stories. I mean, the tier 2 girls haven't even entered the space who will take over the whole scene because their voice and their stories are going to be insane. So that hopefully, something happens about that. I don't know what, but I hope that happens. For me, at least, as long as girls from anywhere, actually, I don't have anything. That's why I think the metro gals with the privilege, because we can access an open mic. Like if I would have been doing this in Nagpur, I wouldn't have gone to an open mic ever. So I hope that sort of changes. And the reason girls, I'm sorry, but I'm very focused on them. Because then they'll come, then there'll be more audience members for them. Then we will ticket khareed lenge. It's not because I'm a good person, Bhanu, just because I want tickets to sell.
That's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, Sumukhi, for coming onto our show. And it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thanks, man. Thank you for having me. And I really hope your dreams of 2022 comedy come true and my dreams come true for 2022 comedy. More my dreams than yours.
By the power of all our dreams combined.
By power of all dreams combined, my dreams should come true.